Are you tired of waiting for something? Anything to happen in the hockey world? Well, grab your coffee because we finally have some legitimate news that could shake up the Toronto Maple Leafs' entire season. After weeks of radio silence, insider Frank Seravalli just dropped a bombshell that has every Leafs fan on the edge of their seat. The question isn't whether Toronto wants Jack Roslovic anymore. It's whether they can actually make it happen. Here's what we know. According to Seravalli's latest report, the Toronto Maple Leafs remain the frontrunners to sign the best remaining free agent on the market, Jack Roslovic. This isn't just some throwaway comment either. Seravalli specifically stated that he believes the Maple Leafs are still very much in the hunt to sign Jack Roslovic. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking this is just recycled news, let me remind you that we're now 6 weeks removed from the initial reports. 6 weeks. That's an eternity in hockey terms, especially when you're talking about a player of Roslovic's caliber still sitting on the market. The connection between Roslovic and Toronto first surfaced back in mid-July when Elliotte Friedman mentioned it on the 32 Thoughts podcast. Friedman's reasoning was solid, and it still makes perfect sense today. He pointed out that Roslovic has history with Auston Matthews from their time together on the USA development team. That's not just a casual connection. That's the kind of chemistry that can translate into immediate on-ice success. Let's dive deeper into this Matthews-Roslovic connection, because it's absolutely crucial to understanding why this move makes so much sense. When you lose a player like Mitch Marner, and yes, the Leafs lost one of their most dynamic forwards on July 1st, you need to find ways to help your superstar center adapt. Matthews and Roslovic already have that built-in chemistry from their development days, which would be invaluable as Matthews adjusts to life without his longtime line mate. Friedman emphasized that Roslovic is a right-handed shot, a veteran presence, and someone Matthews knows well. These aren't minor details. They're exactly the kinds of factors that can make or break a signing like this. The fact that both Brad Treliving and Craig Berube would be getting a player who can immediately click with their franchise player, that's hockey gold. Here's where things get really interesting from a performance standpoint. Last season with the Carolina Hurricanes, Roslovic posted 22 goals and 17 assists for 39 points in 81 games. Those 22 goals would have ranked him 6th on the Maple Leafs goal-scoring list. Think about that for a second. A player who's currently unsigned would have been Toronto's 6th leading goal scorer last season. In a league where goal-scoring depth is everything, especially in the playoffs, you can never have too many players who can find the back of the net. Roslovic has proven he can contribute offensively at the NHL level, and at 28 years old, he's entering what should be his prime years. Now, here's where the strategy gets fascinating. If Toronto is still genuinely interested in Roslovic at this stage of the summer, we have to consider whether they're looking at a professional tryout, PTO, arrangement. A PTO would essentially give both sides a no-risk opportunity to see if the fit works. For Roslovic, a successful PTO could lead to either a contract with the Leafs or increased interest from other teams who see him perform well in training camp and preseason. For Toronto, it's a chance to evaluate how he meshes with Matthews and Matthew Knies without any long-term commitment. The beauty of a PTO is that it could set up Roslovic for a strong one-year, prove-it deal, potentially leading to a more lucrative long-term contract next summer if things go well. Let's talk numbers because the salary cap situation is always crucial for Toronto. The Maple Leafs currently have approximately $1.92 million in projected cap space. That's not exactly a lot of room to work with, but it's not impossible either. The key would be making some roster moves, possibly placing players like Kaye Jarnkrok or David Kampf on waivers in hopes another team claims them. If that doesn't work, their contracts could be buried in the AHL to create additional cap space. If Roslovic signs after a PTO, his contract shouldn't exceed $2 million annually, which will be manageable for Toronto if they can clear at least one salary from their current roster. From a tactical standpoint, Roslovic would likely slot in alongside Matthews and Knies, which is one of the most coveted line positions in the entire league. However, this would require some adjustment to his game, particularly in the playmaking department. While Roslovic has shown he can score goals consistently, playing with Matthews might require him to focus more on creating opportunities for others. Ideally, He'd maintain his goal-scoring touch while boosting his assist total from 17 to somewhere in the 40 to 45 range. What makes this potential signing so intriguing is the timing and the implications. 6 weeks after free agency began, quality players like Roslovic are still available, which suggests either the market is incredibly tight or teams are being very strategic about their remaining moves. For Toronto, landing Roslovic would address multiple needs, adding goal-scoring depth, providing Matthews with a familiar line mate, and giving the team a veteran presence who understands what it takes to compete at the highest level. The Jack Roslovic situation perfectly encapsulates everything we love about the NHL's chess match of roster construction. Here's a proven goal scorer with connections to Toronto's franchise player, still sitting on the market well into August, with both sides apparently still very interested in making something work. Whether it's through a PTO or direct signing, this story has all the ingredients to be one of the summer's most impactful moves. The question isn't whether it makes sense. It absolutely does. The question is whether both sides can navigate the salary cap and timing challenges to make it happen. What do you think, hockey fans? Is Jack Roslovic the missing piece Toronto needs to make a serious playoff run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button if you want to see more breaking hockey news analysis. This will be a move that defines the Maple Leafs' entire season, and we'll be here to break down every development as it happens.